Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Joining us now is Ojy Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Ojy.
Finally. Hi,
Yes.
Leila. How are you?
Ojy.
Dr. Bati, today I am not waving because we're not in the UK. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm
All
good.
right. Well, let's begin in the UK with the US President's state visit to the country. President Donald Trump had barely touched down in the UK yesterday before setting the country ablaze with his tweets as he insulted the London mayor's crime record reduction and his height. In the tweet, the president said, Sajid Khan, who by all accounts has done a terrible job as mayor of London, has been foolishly nasty to the visiting president of the United States, by far the most important ally of the United Kingdom. He is a stone-cold loser who should focus on crime in London and not me. This is really ridiculous. Sajid Khan, in response to the tweet, had his own message for Donald Trump. The mayor recorded a video with Elle magazine criticizing the president's record on women's rights.
President Trump, if you're watching this, your values and what you stand for are the complete opposite of London's values and the values in this country. We think diversity is not a weakness, diversity is a strength. We respect women and we think they're equal to men. We think it's important to safeguard the rights of all of us, particularly the vulnerable and the marginalised. When you are the President of the USA, you have a massive leadership role. You have a massive platform as well. People follow what you do. What we've seen over the last few years in the USA is a rolling back of much of the progress made in previous decades. It's really important we continue to move forwards. What we're seeing in the USA is a rolling back of the reproductive rights of women. We've got a situation now where some states in the USA are making it almost impossible for women to have the rights to have an abortion. One only has to look at the history books to realise the consequences of women not having the right to choose over their own body. What we can't afford to do is return to backstreet abortions. What we can't afford to see is a return to the situation in decades where you had women having no control over their bodies. It's really important we support women in the USA.
I think this was a perfect response to
Yeah.
Donald Trump. And he claims that, you remember, he insulted Meghan Markle by calling her nasty. In an interview she did in 2016, Meghan Markle had called Donald Trump misogynistic and also divisive. And so, she's clearly being under attack by Donald Trump as the way he always attacks every woman in the world.
Well,
So I think this was a perfect
President
response.
Trump's visit in 2018 to the United Kingdom was controversial. Even this one is turning out to be even more controversial. But what Sajid Khan was referring to there, is drawing our attention again to the whole controversy over Roe versus Wade, Supreme Court decision 1973, and the decision in some states of the United States to ban abortion. And you know that Donald Trump is on the conservative side. And we have had some dramatic cases coming from Alabama, Georgia, Ohio, Mississippi, Louisiana, banning abortion. But I think that...
It's not only abortion. I think it's women in general.
Yes,
Donald Trump has been
talking
attacking...
specifically
Well, he also said
about
that as well.
reproductive rights
He said also feminists.
of
Because
women.
that's the most recent
That's
thing.
the
I
most
think it's
recent
all
thing.
to
It's
do
all
with the
to do with the-
intersectional system
Correct.
of oppression. And I
Right.
stand with Sadiq Khan on this
Correct.
because
Yeah.
London is a very diverse
Absolutely.
city. And he, as the mayor, has to represent the voice of the people. What Donald Trump did and the way he went about it, once again, was just his Twitter fingers, and we're tired of it.
I mean,
But
I
Donald
don't
Trump
understand.
provoked the attack on him, and there's a lot of division over his visit. You have Matt Hancock, MP, supporting Sajid Khan and saying that Londoners are glad to have the first Muslim mayor.
He is
And
the
then you
first
have
Muslim
people
mayor.
like Nick Balls saying that whatever may be the provocation from Trump, he should be treated with a lot of politeness that are caused with his status as President of the United States and as a special guest of the Queen. But the protest, the point you made about Jeremy Corbyn, Jeremy Corbyn, of course,
He's inciting people to
Is-
come out and
And he's going
protest
to
against
address-
Donald Trump, to
he's going
stand
to-
in solidarity
That's their
against all the things that he's done.
He's going to address the protesters. But what is
People
more
around the world.
important is that, yesterday, there was a lot of civility. The Queen and the President of the United States talking about the partnership, the historical alliance between the United States and the United Kingdom, and I think that is instructive. Today, we'll be meeting with Prime Minister Theresa May at a bilateral meeting in the cabinet room of 10 Downing Street, and some of the issues that will be discussed will include climate change and also include China, particularly Huawei, and the decision of the United Kingdom to engage Huawei to provide, non-core components for the 5G technology. And Huawei, of course, had more or less been blacklisted by the United States as part of the trade war between China and the United States.
Well, let's hope there's not going to be a protest in the UK today. Donald Trump has said he has not seen anything happening, and he's also said, I hope. All right, well, let's head over to South Africa with the victorious win for athlete Caster Semenya, who will now be allowed to compete without having to take testosterone-reducing medication. The Swedes court yesterday ordered the International Association of Athletics Federation to suspend implementation of its new regulation against the athlete while her appeal is still pending. Semenya reacted to the ruling, saying, "Born a winner with an image and a quote, be the change that you wish to see in the world." By Mahatma Gandhi.
Well, I mean, the Foundation for Human Rights has said that this is a case of human rights, it's a case of discrimination against women, because the whole issue is that it's the IAAF, the International Association of Athletic Federations, ruling, I think last month or so, that, athletes, female, who have up to 50 nanomils of testosterone in their blood level would have to take drugs to reduce the testosterone level at least 6 months before they can take part in any competition. And Caster Semenya had gone to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, where she lost, and then she now went to the Federal Court of Switzerland, where she has been given this reprieve, pending the determination of appeal. But until that is finally determined, she will still be able to run. But the two major questions that have been raised, the question of human rights and the question of discrimination against
female
women.
artists.
And Semenya being a role model, particularly in 800 meters, sports. Sports analysts have said, she doesn't deserve this kind of treatment because persons with difference in sex, the DSD, also have, the right to participate in competitive sports.
I'm just very happy for her to be able to, overturn that controversial policy. I mean, it's still pending. I hope that, this would set some sort of precedence for female athletes with that type of, DSD and elevated testosterone level to be able to compete in their rightful sports.
Absolutely.
So let's see what happens eventually.
And I think we're also living in a world where we need to look beyond that notion of this is what a man defines and this is what a woman defines. There are going to be women born with higher testosterone levels. There are going to be men born with higher estrogen levels, and you see it every single day. When you start to then point these people out, what are you then saying and what message are you sending across? I think it's absolutely wrong, and I'm so happy for her. I hope this goes in her favor all the way.
I hope so. And the Athletic Sports Federation in South Africa are really supporting her, and they're not going to stop until the case is overturned. Yes. All right, let's take an exciting news under entertainment. Superstar rapper, fashion trendsetter, and streaming music mogul Jay-Z is now being named by Forbes magazine as the first billionaire rapper in the world. Forbes takes through the various businesses that Jay-Z either owns or has a stake in, including a $70 million stake in Uber, his ownership of the streaming service Tidal, his $70 million art collection, his ownership of Rock Nation Sports Management Company, and $50 million in assorted real estate holdings.
Well, what you have not added is that he's
he's
also the
married to
husband.
Beyonce.
He's also the husband of Mrs. Carter.
Actually, he's been referred to as Mr. Beyonce.
But good for him.
Yes.
I mean, before now, we were told that Dr. Dre, was the first to hit the billionaire mark in hip-hop. But apparently, it's not Dr. Dre again. It is Jay-Z, renamed Sean Carter. Congratulations to him. And we hope that he will be able to sustain his entrepreneurship and his talent.
It just goes to
He's
show that
such a
hard work is
multi-talented,
so
yes.
rewarding. I mean, you can imagine that he's just from, you know, those projects. Like, I mean, I don't even know what year he started, 2001 till now, and look how much he's amassed just from doing what he loves and just being very hardworking at it. And I'm just really very proud of him.
And using the right strategies to go around
Yes.
and hashtag pay me in equity.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
he has honestly played the game.
Anyway, we
Exactly,
must
yeah.
thank you very much,
Thank you,
Ojy
Dr.
Okpe.
Abati, as well. I'm not even
I will look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow, Dr.
That's all
Abati.
on this segment of The Money Show.